Now let's talk about the United States. The government there has been shut down, and it's been that way for more than a month now. This is the longest government shutdown in American history. But what does that mean? A shutdown happens when the US Congress fails to agree on a budget. And without that agreement, without a budget, funding stops. And when funding stops, many government offices close. Some employees are sent home. Others, like air traffic controllers, still have to work, but they don't get paid. Right now, that's the reality for more than 1.4 million federal workers. The shutdown began on the 1st of October. After 36 days, its impacts are hard to miss. In fact, one of the biggest is in the sky. Yesterday, the US government announced that it will cut 10% of its flights. 10%. The cuts will affect 40 major airports across the country, and they begin tomorrow. It is one of the most drastic moves ever seen in American aviation, and the reason for this is safety. Air traffic controllers have been working without pay since the shutdown began. They direct planes in the sky. That is one of the most stressful jobs in the world, but after 5 weeks without a salary, many are struggling. Some are taking second jobs, others cannot afford fuel or childcare, and many are showing signs of fatigue. The government says that makes the system unsafe, so to reduce pressure, the US is cutting flights.
But we do recognize that the controllers have been working fastidiously for the last 5 weeks with this huge burden over their head of lack of compensation. And we are starting to see some evidence that that fatigue is building in the system in ways that we feel we need to work towards relieving some of that pressure.
The U.S. Transportation Secretary is a man called Sean Duffy. He says the decision is based on data, and he admits that the move will disrupt travel. But he insists that this had to be done. Take a look.
There'll be frustration. We are working with the airlines. They're going to work with passengers. But in the end, our sole role is to make sure that we keep this airspace as safe as possible.
Let me put this into perspective for you. The U.S. aviation regulator handles more than 44,000 flights every day, so a 10% cut is massive. In total, it could mean about 1,800 flights and around 268,000 seats cut each day, 268,000 passengers or seats. For now, the reductions will start small, 4% on Friday, 5% on Saturday, and it will reach 10% by next week. These cuts will affect some of America's busiest airports: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, among others. And that has airlines racing to adjust. They're working to limit the disruption. They're urging the Congress to end the shutdown immediately. But this crisis is bigger than just flights. This is about politics. Republicans and Democrats, the two main political parties in the U.S., they're locked in a standoff. Democrats want to extend health care subsidies in low-income families. Republicans say they will only talk after the government reopens. President Donald Trump has accused the Democrats of trying to destroy the country. Right now, both sides remain stuck, and millions of Americans are paying the price. Low-income families are missing food stamp benefits. Those are government funds that help people buy groceries and basic supplies. Courts are running on emergency funds, and even the U.S. Federal Reserve is struggling to track the economy. Many government agencies have stopped releasing key economic data. That data shows how the U.S. economy is performing, and it helps officials make important decisions. Experts say the shutdown has already slowed America's growth. Reports estimate that the economy could shrink by up to 2 percentage points if the shutdown continues. Some of that damage will be permanent. Up to $14 billion could be lost. That's the money which won't come back. Even Wall Street banks are sounding the alarm. Goldman Sachs calls this the most damaging shutdown on record, and yet Washington remains deadlocked. This is now day 37 of the shutdown, and there is no breakthrough in sight.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.